We are talking match prep today, and this is Can We Chat? This podcast is made possible by LAX Ammunition, Southern California's largest ammo retailer with stores in Inglewood, Huntington Beach, and San Diego. What's up? My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA, helping you elevate your shooting skills safely and accurately. This channel will help you clarify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and keep you updated in the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Good morning, back in the house, my teammate, fellow competitor, and dear friend, Anthony Vega. Well, good morning to you,
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
So we had a little vacation from each other, I see.
I know. Like, you got the warm, sunny aspect. I got the cold, wet, and rainy. I mean, we actually got rained on, so...
Yeah, that's what I heard.
How was your weather?
Oh, my God. It was beautiful out there. It was a little chilly, like in the 60s, mid to low 60s in the morning, and then by the 11 o'clock, it got warm.
Oh, so the exact opposite of what we got.
That's what I heard. So did it rain on you guys?
Oh, yeah, it rained.
So did you shoot in the rain?
Oh, yeah, we shot in the rain. Not enough to get the targets wet to where we had to cover them up, but enough to where, like, even for me, I had to put my rain jacket on.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah, we got some wetness on this. And it looked like it was going to be a great morning, and then turned back, and then turned, and then got a good breeze, so we got the breeze with the wetness.
Man.
And,
so this was the last CA-IDPA local match in Prado, right?
Yeah, this is the last one, and then we got one more before we take another road trip.
Right, but this is what we're talking about. The April 14th match is what you're talking about, which you came in 27th overall with a bug gun.
Yes, I did.
First place in your own class. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, gun's feeling great. Like, I've actually, knowing that it's such a tough division, like, I've never had to struggle with a gun or just shooting in general.
Yeah.
And with these little guns, I mean, you have to practice. And, you know, in the small amount of time I actually have been practicing, which is very odd for me.
What have you been doing to prep?
As far as prep for the Western and all that, I mean, I've definitely been doing a lot more draws, being that I have a whole new holster, whole new grip module.
Yeah, that's smart.
Reloads. I mean, you know, just as well as I do with bug guns, reloads are important.
They will determine first and second place.
Oh, yeah. And that's not only just by a little bit, that's by a lot of it.
Very quickly, right?
Yes.
I assume.
All of a sudden, you just miss that one shot and have that reload, and you're like, oh, there's that match going right down the drain.
Yep. So, stage 3, you took a 10-second penalty, is what I see.
Yes, I took a 10-second penalty.
What exactly is that?
That was 2 non-threats that were that stacked on top of each other, right in the center of the threat.
Right.
But just inside the perf of...
Yeah, I sat there, I'm like, a failure to do right, or
not quite. Or
he couldn't have missed 2.
Missed... Well, I didn't miss 2. I hit 2. Because it was a complete perfect 0 in the threat target. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Oh, man.
I was just going a little too spicy with a little bug, so...
Double tapping.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, just whoops. One, not just perf, but you. Oh no! So stage 6, you took a P, right?
Stage 6, I took a P. If I remember right, there was a paper steel on one side, paper steel on the other side. So my plan is about 15-yard paper.
Yeah. And
you had to have 2 body, 1 head. Right. So I went 2 body, 2 head, steel. Now I can do reload. Did the same thing on the other side. Now I had one in the chamber, one in the mag. So took a P for ammo on the ground.
Who called that?
I was SOing for the day, but I don't know who called that one, but it was legit. I grabbed the mag and went,
it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. I mean, it's a learning curve and learning experience.
Right.
Doing things that you don't normally do.
Right.
It takes a lot out of you.
Oh, man. So
how was your match out there?
Oh, my gosh. So an outlaw match, they got rid of the reloading stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could just drop mags however, whenever.
Well, no, not necessarily that. They still had those type of rules, but they gave us like 10-round mags.
Ooh.
in a bug.
Ooh, so you got to take advantage of some capacity.
Well, it was, because we're used to reloading and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do with myself, right? So,
So did you get 10 plus 1?
well, when you have a 10 round capacity mag in your bug gun, right? It is now all shooting stuff, right? And I learned an awful lot that day.
Really?
Yeah, because you just sit there and you got 10 rounds and you're going and you're like, wow. Now you're not just looking for 3 targets, right? 2, 2, 2, 2, right? 6, and then drop and stuff. You were looking at like full arrays and stuff like that.
So
And,
now, do you think that would help or hurt you for, say, a bigger another match that actually has standard IDPA rules?
That's a great question. So when you get huge arrays, right? I definitely know exactly where I stand on that. And that's one of my strengths. If I get a lot of targets in a certain array, I can just use my tempo and my cadence, just get through that. But that was it was a whole different thing. It was almost to the point. It was as pure as self-defense as you can. Is what Chad Cunningham was trying to present to all the shooters.
Okay.
And that was an interesting thing for me. That was the first, I would have to say.
So definitely would keep shooting that match again.
Oh no! I definitely that was like a vacation, right? Because shooting
away from the weather.
Shooting aside from the weather, absolutely. But just shooting a bug gun with 10 rounds instead of 6 rounds, right? Was definitely refreshing.
You're basically doubling your capacity at that point.
Yeah, it puts you in a whole different division, right?
A whole new world.
So, but it was amazing. The stages were fast, and they had other ones that were really complicated. There were a lot of moving stuff, and then the thing that really stuck out was the footing. There was a lot of rocks, and their fault lines were huge, right? So
really?
you got to really be careful when you come running around corners and stuff like that. So
playing Tokyo Drift.
It was definitely that. So instead of going down and taking a digger, right, you got to really be careful and stuff. So that added a different aspect to the match. But all in all, yeah, that was an amazing time.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I can't wait to shoot next year.
Yeah, I definitely want to get the team all together. We can hang out.
I mean, hopefully it's spread out a little bit more next year when the Western usually is always that first weekend of May.
Yeah, so
all that. So I mean, maybe,
which everybody is focusing on the Western now, right?
Yeah, I mean everybody is. I mean, I have been for past month or better.
Right. So which brings us to our podcast, right? So what are you doing to prepare for the Western?
So I've been doing a bunch of reloading, obviously testing loads, making sure that you get up to a travel match like that and you make sure your ammo is of quality, make sure that it's making power factor.
Oh yeah.
Which is a big thing because we have had a teammate that didn't quite do that one.
So that is next week.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get out of here on Tuesday, but
You're leaving Tuesday?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So it might be bright and early in the morning on Wednesday.
It's when me, Dan, Cynthia, and Megan will be traveling out, leaving Wednesday morning.
So I know they're going to need help to set up and so forth, and we'll get going with that. I got to get back to doing dry firing, reloads, practice, and stuff like that to get back to
we actually did a little bit of that yesterday, which was part of the prep to get up and going.
Yeah. So when you fire, where are you with your gun? I mean, is everything all fine tuned and?
Not quite. I mean, just like anything else, we might be fine tuning all the way to the time we load up in the car. I think the only thing I've added since then, and will add before next match and the Western, did a 15-pound ISMI guide rod. So that way it helped a little bit with the recoil and be a little bit flatter shooting.
So, and what does that put you on with weight?
Still good.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still under. I think I have like another 6 or 7 ounces to play with. which is a nice thing to be at.
Okay. And you're working toward getting it comped and stuff like that?
Yes. So I think eventually pretty soon here, still playing with a couple of the measurements to make sure that I'm not purchasing something that I won't be able to use.
Yeah.
But everything I've read, seen, it's going to fit.
So which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're always looking for that little bit, so.
Right. So have you done anything with your ammo for the Western or anything like that?
No, I'm still running.
Hot stuff?
No, not hot. I mean, I've downed it a little bit, went from 3.9 to 3.8, which put me at 115 power factor, which is still more than enough, being that we have 95 for bug.
Plenty, yeah. Plenty.
And then running through Megan's gun is running at 130 power factor, so it's nice to be able to just make one standard case all the way through and not have to change much on it. So.
Oh, awesome. So you're definitely going to be ready for that. So.
Yeah, we've been low in ammo, and I think we should be good to enough now to where the four of us will be able to shoot the next local match and the Western and be totally fine, but maybe throw a little bit more into effect.
So we had a checklist going. Well, I have a checklist. Did you have a checklist for the Western as well?
As far as a written down hard copy checklist, no. Mental checklist, absolutely.
I guess we all have mental checklists.
Yeah, I mean, I find myself that if I have like a hard copy of a paper, I'll be like, oh, it's right here, and then just check it off, and then of course it's in your living room and you're already leaving.
What if you misplace that somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, then the hard copy just gets misplaced and everything else. So, I mean, for me, it's more of, all right, one bag, everything's going in one bag. Usually if it's me and Megan, grab a bit larger range bag so that way everything's inside there. My ammo totes are all completely full, so ammo totes bags. Eyes, ears, extra battery. So like days before the match, pack everything. Not to where it's, night before and you're like, oh yeah, I'll be good. Or, oh, I'll get that in the morning. No, everything's packed, ready to go days before. So that way there's no question of, all right, this is missing, that's missing. You have multiple days to, oh yeah, that's right. I also wanted to bring this.
Right. So you sign up for the Western, the match, and then you work on your lodging arrangements and stuff like that.
Yes.
So what type of lodging arrangements have you found?
So this year we're actually doing Airbnb with me, Dan, Cynthia, and Megan. So
very nice.
Yeah. Years past, I have a good buddy who lives up that way, so was able to couch surf with him.
So that's like really close to
fairly close. I want to say it was like 35 minutes. Yeah, 35 minutes out.
Oh, 35 minutes. So it's just like everybody going to
the hotels and cities and all that.
Right.
But
Folsom. Folsom. Yeah.
Downtown Folsom. I think there's another little city out that way that everybody kind of congregates to as well.
And everything's really comfortable in the house and so forth.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's twice as comfortable as a hotel room.
So this is the first time we're going to this Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
So we're going sight unseen. Dan and Cynthia did an Airbnb last match.
Right.
And they loved it, so.
Oh, well then.
I mean, not the same place, but they did love the accommodations that it did have. And same thing, it was 35 minutes out.
Right.
Which everything out there is.
So that's one of the match tips that we have. If you are part of a team, you guys just group up together and get an Airbnb. Everybody shares it. There's a lot of community inside, right?
Absolutely.
So you have food, you have drinks, you have conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it goes into more match planning. I mean,
more match planning, right?
Like, how many times have we gone the day before or something like that, all met up in a hotel room?
Yes.
And, had a couple adult beverages and, went over the match plans. And
speaking of which, so, on the flip side of that, that could be a little distracting, right? So,
it could be, but at the same time, if you take something so serious that, you have to just focus and grind and study.
Right.
We're doing this for fun. We're not winning Cadillacs and, this is not if we mess up or have a mistake, we're not losing our livelihood.
Right,
we're just having a bad match, and all right, great. Let's go
it's
to the next
responsible
stage.
Practice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to achieve here. So, but there is the elite, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
and they're always trying to lead the pack and so forth, which I always appreciate. So the top guys, the pros.
Yeah, I mean the pros are the pros for a reason.
Yeah, because that's their job.
That is their job.
Yeah,
like
okay.
as fun
point.
as much as we have that we want to take this serious, and it is shooting, so we do take that serious, but not so much so that it takes the fun out of it anymore.
Right. So once it becomes a job,
Correct.
Then that's
next level stuff. Like if once it's a job, then you have to take it serious, and it's
Right.
not you're just having a great time
Right.
with your buddies and having a great time.
Right. And
we do this for fun.
That's one of the purposes for this podcast. We're trying to share and build a community which goes out and has a good time while responsibly practicing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Western is next week. So other than your lodging, what travel? Gas is still
travel.
Crazy, right? So,
I know years past, I either rented a car, depending, because driving a big diesel and when you're not having to pull anything.
Yeah, right.
I mean, especially now, what diesel's $5 something a gallon. Like,
man,
that's not a cheap fuel bill to pick up when you're driving there and back.
No, it's actually it's quite a bit. So I go through about like 2 tanks.
Yeah.
Right. So back up, going up, going back, and stuff like that, and then any extracurricular stuff I do there. So that's a pretty big gas bill.
Yeah, I think what was it 2 years ago? The Nationals up in Colorado. My buddy got one of those little Ford Maverick hybrids.
Oh yeah.
So I took that up there. It was fantastic.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah. It was just. So you only used like a half a tank.
I think it was basically like 1.5 tanks to get from Orange County to Colorado.
And that's
So I'd start off with a full tank.
Yeah.
I want to say I got to like mid Utah before I had to fill up. And then filled up again, got all the way up to Grand Junction.
right.
So
and that's with all your gear in it.
yeah, all the gear, everything else. And I mean, it wasn't, I was light footing it. I mean, speed limit's 80, 85. And I was doing all that and maybe a little more.
Was it actually doing 85?
Oh, yeah. It has some good amount of pickup to it. And I was shocked and was odd, which I know you saw when I was behind you. It looks like a little cop car.
I thought it was.
I had a guy pull over at the gas station. And it was like, I thought you were a cop for miles and miles.
Well, it was black.
It was all black, all blacked out and everything else. And, from a distance, you're like, I don't know about this one. Let me lay off the throttle a little bit.
But was it comfortable and stuff like that?
It was great. Comfortable.
Paper thin benches or anything?
Yeah, I think the only thing I really had any issues with was the connectivity with the phone through like some of the canyon.
Oh, yeah.
And then it lost, so I didn't have a radio for a little bit. And then I was calling my buddy like on the side of the road, hey, what do I need to do? I'm not going to keep driving for hours, not listen to have anything to listen to. So I guess you had to do like a quick hard restart, and it took like 10 seconds. And
you didn't have again. One of those 3mm plugs that you just stick in there?
It was.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was like an iPhone jack that went through, but like
wouldn't communicate.
Yeah, it wouldn't have a radio, wouldn't have anything.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah,
for that
so
one.
I think I did it for maybe an hour or so, and then pulled over because I was going to get fuel and everything else. At that point in time, I gave him a quick call. He's like, hey, try this.
Right.
So I pulled over and did it real quick. I'm like, yep, we're good.
So at the Western, they provide us access to the back range, Cowboy Town, right? So they allowed us to RV there, right? To camp because we're there all week to help set up and do all the staff stuff. So that really helped out. So I pulled my 7,000-pound building and parked it there, and that's my domicile for the week. So and apparently it's starting to build a following, because now
I was going to say, it seems like every year that campground expands and keeps going larger and larger.
Absolutely. Well, Tony,
I'm assuming they kicked you out of the first one because that's where most people
it was
set up to shoot.
It was getting a little busy. there, I would have to say. So
Busy?
Busy, yeah. There was quite a few. And then Tony Como is always the colorful neighbor, right? So he's that guy.
He's that neighbor that you love, but also hate at the same time?
He's
he'll love to hate him?
Oh, yeah. You'll never be late in the morning, for
Never
sure.
be late?
Oh, no.
You're always going to be on time?
As a Marine, he has this rape whistle that he goes off, and that goes off at 600, in the morning.
On the dot? He's prepping beforehand, getting his lungs ready to...
I mean, I keep on reminding him, I have firearms in my trailer. What are you doing? So wakes us up, and then he'll let you know when it's dinner time as well, right? So you'll never miss a meal. So
I mean, like I said, it's one of those things that you have to take the pros with the cons. And it all evens out, and we love the guy.
Definitely, we love the guy.
Yeah.
So so that's my little thing. So we're in there, a little RV town. It's real comfortable. Fires out there, campfires. Everybody sits around,
Sings Kumbaya, eating s'mores.
Yep. And late at night, we help out the security guard and make sure we do rounds and stuff like that. We drive around in Anthony's 4-wheel golf cart.
Yeah, and this year got a major upgrade because I don't think he had that one last year.
No, yeah, full suspension now.
Yeah, I mean he has off-road lights.
Right. So I sit there
some
and
quick rounds.
Well, I have mine, right? So, but mine's the Ford F-150. I can drive mine around.
Got the little yellow lights up on top.
Right. So I think we're going to try to bring our long-range rifles this time. Just to see if we can get on the.
Because if I remember right, they have a 600-yard range.
Yes.
Right?
So we're going to go out there and we're going to mess around and so forth. I haven't shot my rifle in I don't know how long, so that's a perishable skill. So
yes,
I'm wondering.
I was actually talking with a buddy of mine, and I don't think I've taken any of my bolt guns out in well over a year and a half.
You should bring yours.
I just might now.
Okay, right.
Just like bringing golf clubs to Colorado that we never did. We just can't drag them all the way out and just leave them.
It's funny. We go there and I have all these
high hopes and
activities
that we're like, we're gonna do this.
Once it starts and you're in the heat of the moment, right? Oh man, they keep you busy there for all week.
I mean, even as a competitor, and I mean, even more so when you're actually working it.
I would love just to be a competitor.
That will never happen for you. You would be bored.
It's that thing.
You would actually get all those things that you want to do, that extracurricular outside the match. You would actually get those done, which then you wouldn't be fulfilled.
Yeah, right. So, and then we wouldn't be building a community anymore. We'll just be, it's just me, right?
A couple guys just having fun, not doing anything, not giving back to the community.
Right. So, what do you got in the black bag this morning?
Same thing. The 365 I will be shooting in the match. So there's not much different that has been done to it other than the guide rod. I know we've had a couple guys hit us up and ask what all's been done to it. I think we left some comments. But since then, the only thing that's been added is the guide rod.
Okay.
But quick breakdown of what's done to it.
We'll do a quick update.
Do a quick update.
You want to break it down for us then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's stay tuned for this.
All right, so a quick update on the P365 that currently shooting for bug. Quick breakdown of everything I have done. So the newest update is ISMI 15-pound guide rod. I have not shot it yet, so definitely give some feedback once I do with the ammo that I am shooting. Stock barrel, stock slide. Internally, there is a lightened striker spring, lightened safety plunger spring, and a lightened sear spring in the FCU. They are a little nicer, gives a little bit cleaner trigger break, going from roughly the 7-pound range to about the 4-pound range. Gray Guns flat face trigger with an over travel stop. I actually really like that. Very comfortable. Sharps Brothers grip module. One thing that I have done is actually most people grab the gun and are like, oh, you're a lefty? I'm like, no, I'm not. What I find when I actually release my mag on the right, my big meat paws of a palm end up blocking the mag. So for me, I end up coming over to the right side. So when I actually release the grip, it kind of gets my palm up out of the way.
really like the gun. Been shooting it for just a little bit now, and just keeps getting nicer and nicer for me. These guide rods are a little tighter to get in now, which I'm not complaining about because they do stay. Absolutely great gun. The one nice thing I do like about these flat face triggers are when they actually break, when you're actually firing them, they almost end up at a complete 90 once the over travel is stopped. And as far as the reset, it's nice tactile reset, very nice feeling to it, and it fits very, very well inside the box. You can see you still have a little bit of room. That's where I think the comp for the Sharps Brothers slide will actually work in very well.
Wow, thank you for that. Man, I'm still waiting for mine. I just don't know when
still on back order.
Still on back order. I got to give him a call and find out exactly if you can actually.
So you can make a change to the dark side.
Oh man, it's such a compact and well efficient gun. Aside from I love my HK, but the thing is that you just gotta stick up with the modern times, right?
Yeah,
so
I mean it is something that is very modern,
right? I love the modularity.
Yeah, the modularity platform of this is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely. So the schedule for the Western, we are shooting Thursday and Friday. The staff and special guests, VIPs, right? So
I don't know about VIPs, but we're just people that shoot.
So I hear it's going to be very busy this year. So I hope if you're planning on going to Western, you've already signed up. If not, send me, leave a comment, and I got special hookups that I can get you guys in if you need to.
Everybody knows Paul wants to be Paul's favorites.
So what else is going on? You have any? What's going on after the Western? You thinking of anything else?
As far as big matches, I don't know. I'm always like 7-Eleven. We're not always doing business, but are always open. That one get you a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. That was pretty good. I mean, can I use that one?
Yeah, feel free. I won't even charge royalties.
So our next video is stow and go. It's empty table starts, right? So your mags are all on the table. You got to dump them in your.
We've been finding a lot of those on some stages recently. And it's like, you never see it when I was shooting ESP or anything, right. But all of a sudden you shoot bug where you have these little mags. And
so I got to make one for the bugs because we have an extra mag laying around, and you just can't just leave it there, right? You got to pick it up.
You got to pick it up and stow it.
You got to do something with it, right?
And I think it was the first time we shot bug. It was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Right. So we did that, but I didn't get very much footage for that. So we had to. I'm still waiting for other additional footage to show you guys how to stow and go, but that'll help out the ESP and the carry optic guys. Yeah. Right. So
definitely
stay tuned for that. That will be next Sunday. So if you're out at the Western, please come on by, say hello to Anthony and myself. We would love to meet you guys, and we'll give you a shout out when we do the next podcast.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
every match it seems like go to now, even guys I haven't seen or that came down for the Tier 2 match, come down, stopping by, saying hi, and saying how much you enjoy this.
Yeah, in Las Vegas, they were doing the same. I sat there, I'm like, I don't even know you guys, and I apologize. And so I wanted to sit and talk with them, but we were going through and getting ready for the match.
And that's a big downfall with some of these matches is you're trying to get your own stuff and you're trying to get your own plan, and you want to talk and engage, but you only have a certain amount of time because either they have to go, you have to go, especially working a match. So.
You just got to take the extra time and try to find
that happy medium.
Yeah, because you have to sit down, you have to say hi, you have to acknowledge them. Definitely, that's really important.
And who knows, you might just meet someone like we did.
Which we did. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Can We Chat. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
Anthony Vega.
Be safe, and we shall see you on the range.
Like, share, subscribe.